Hello and welcome to The Worst Movie Ever Made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind, to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Ackman. I'm joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Scucci and Bob Hassick, and this is a good movie episode. This week we are doing Terminator 2, Judgment Day. How you guys doing? And why are we doing this?
I'm doing great, and we're doing this for the same reason. We're about to hit 5,000 downloads.
Yay!
It's kind of a slow crawl, but like it's a nice little. I'm happy about that.
Yeah,
we should all be happy. Bob,
we are.
Yeah, we're doing this because Terminator 2 is a good action movie. And,
Here it goes. Here it goes.
And we did an action movie season, so it works, right?
It does.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It was a pretty action-packed season.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. We got a little off in the weeds, though, because like we were doing action stars, and then like the Tooth Fairy worked its way in, and some shit like that. But like, yeah, it's in the wheelhouse.
Yeah, he's an action star,
Yeah, exactly.
The Rock.
Yeah, it all counts.
Yes.
But this week it is Terminator 2, one of my favorite movies. Apparently not one of Bob's, but Rob likes it too. So
it's a core memory.
Go to war.
Yeah, it's a core memory for me. I saw it. I thought it came out in '94. It came out in '91, and I remember watching it like when it came out on VHS with my dad and my brother. And I was like 4 or 5 years old when we got our hands on it. So like it's just one of the first like. A, it's a cut above other action films of its time, and B, it's like I was so young when I saw it, kind of like set my expectation, like moving forward through life.
Right, and everything from there was disappointing.
Everything.
91. 91. Keep that in mind, Bob.
Yeah,
this was 91.
That was my first year in high school. 91.
Right.
Nice.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, end of my first year in high school.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right, let's throw it to YouTube.
All right. You know what? I don't care what the haters say. I think Catwoman was great. I'm going to blast through these because they're all high praise and they're not mentally ill, like on the bad movies. So, here we go. 30 years of Terminator 2 Judgment Day, still the greatest action film ever made. Next one. This masterpiece is over 30 years old and still holds up in the special effects department today. Cheers to the entire cast and everyone involved with the production of this timeless film. Next one, and this is my favorite. It would have been a hell of a plot twist if they never revealed that he was actually good in the trailers. Imagine watching the film and you think that 2 Terminators are coming to kill John, and then all of a sudden you see him say, "Get down," and shoots the other Terminator. That would have been awesome. Maybe one existed. I'm just going off this one guy on YouTube. But, one of the greatest movies of all time, a true cinematic marvel, an absolute masterpiece that stood the test of time. It's entertained us for decades and will continue to do so for decades to come. And then this movie's about to turn 30 and it still holds up after all this time. So mostly general praise, no grammatical issues, no weird emojis with like fire flames and like the 100 and like multiple thumbs. So, it's pretty good.
Oh, it's go ahead, Bob.
To be fair, trailers weren't as accessible back in 91.
Yeah.
And I saw this without seeing the trailer. So I was genuinely surprised and happily surprised. It was a good twist. It was a good twist for me.
Yeah, see, cool. The movie delivers a few of those because it's really well written.
Yes.
What a screenplay. Okay, test number 1, the best of its kind.
The Worst Movie Ever Made presents the best of its kind.
Yeah.
All right. The Green Mile, Tom Hanks. We've got heavy hitters here for the most part.
Oh, yeah, big time.
This came in at a 79. Have you guys enjoyed this movie before, or did you not?
I saw it as a kid, so like I have to watch it as an adult because, I think it was probably lost on me because I was like 7.
Okay, fair enough.
It's a Stephen King movie again.
Yeah.
Just like Shawshank. So it's going to be quality writing.
Yeah, absolutely. A 79, I think, is accurate because it's not the best movie I've ever seen. There's a lot of the graphics are a little rough, like when John Coffey coughs up the flies or ash or whatever the hell it is. He sucks up cancer and then blows it out of his mouth. It looks a little ridiculous. There's stuff like that.
It's also really long.
It is very long. This movie, too, Terminator 2, was extra long because we watched the extended version. I just want to warn people now, I basically skipped the deleted scenes and went more theatrical. I've seen this movie enough to know what scenes were deleted, so...
Yeah, I did not know that, so I apologize for picking that.
That's fine.
The DVD release.
No, it's okay. I think
it's more of the best movie. That's not just the best action movie that we saw. Thanks to you.
Yeah, I think the theatrical version is the superior cut though, because like a lot of the extra scenes are the director being like, let's let Furlong have more of a go, and then before they made the theatrical version, they cut a lot of him out.
Fair,
maybe for the better. Terminator 3 with Arnold, a 69. I disagree. I think it's like a 29. If you guys haven't seen it, it's terrible.
I've only seen 1 and 2 because like the diehards say those are the only ones that should be canon.
Yeah.
But I heard Genesis was actually like, because that's back with James Cameron, right? I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I heard that one's actually worth a look, but I haven't seen it.
My friend Sean Barton, I think, likes Salvation.
Okay.
I think that's a Christian Bale one, but I haven't seen that one all the way through either. Have you guys seen The Professional? It's also called Leon the Professional.
Nope.
Yes, in the theaters. I love it.
I do too. It only has a 74, but I thought it was better than that. I really love that movie.
I'd kick it to like 80 or 90. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, for real. It's got Natalie Portman and Gary Oldman, and then what's the guy's name? The French actor who's
Jean Reno.
Reno, yeah, that's right. It's spelled like Reno, like
yes,
Vegas, yeah. The Departed with Damon and DiCaprio. Now this I would have flip flopped. I would give The Departed more of a 74 and give Leon the Professional more of a 90 personally. But The Departed is fun.
Did it get 90? The Departed.
Yeah, I got a 90. I don't think it's deserving.
Nah.
It's a good movie. It's fun.
I liked it. Yeah,
it's good.
Got problems. And then I saw this one, and just to help out the Terminator 2 movie, I wrote down Piranha 2. But hey, it's got Lance Henriksen, and it came in with a 5%. So the average drops down to a 63.4% in Terminator 2. You guys want to guess?
I think we all know it got like a 95 or a 94, right?
We got high, right? 90 something?
Yeah, 93. So 29.5, about 29.6% above average and the best of its kind. No surprise there because it is a very good movie.
Yes.
Let's move it on to test number 2. Ain't that a pitch?
Now ain't that a pitch?
I went first last time, so somebody else go.
I'll go.
All right.
Okay.
No fate but what we make for ourselves. Sarah Connor whispers in the direction of a shelf. That's in her room at the asylum, because she's been locked up inside one. Delusions of grandeur befalls on the unwell.
That's good.
Actually pretty good. Bob, you want to go?
Yeah. Now you're gonna see that I go like I'm like only 5% negative on this movie, maybe 10% negative. So
all right,
that's pretty much how I.
Let's go 5. Let's go 5.
That's how I handle all my tests. Okay, so here we go. There once was a man from the future who couldn't smile but knew how to suture. Sarah and John Connor he protects, and there are some kick-ass special effects, especially the liquid metal pursuer.
Wow, really well developed. Mine was just more of a joke about Sarah actually not just being totally nuts and locked in the asylum.
You guys went pretty serious with yours, and I feel like a dick now. Okay. There once was a cybernetic automaton in charge of protecting a Connor, John. The T-1000 gave them all a merciless pounding, but Arnold took care of it, dickwad.
I'm going Rob.
I'm going Rob.
Cool.
Should we do we should do like a 1 star if we're still using the same.
That's true.
The same grading scale. Yeah, I'm gonna say Rob a 1.
Okay.
All right, I'll go 1 also then.
Cool.
All right, that's awesome.
1.
I'm gonna jot that down because it matters because we totally compare the movies, which we don't, so I'm not gonna bother. Test number 3. What ages well?
The worst movie ever made presents What Ages Well.
Is that a kazoo?
Right. Yeah, I got it.
I love it.
Actually, I have like a professional grade kazoo from
Wow.
Guitar Center.
Wow, that's great. Okay, so yeah, what we're going to do here is the opposite of the most offensive test. We're going to talk about what ages well in the movie. So that's kind of an umbrella term, and I'm going to ask for mentions because it's kind of a hard subject to track down.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start with a direct comparison, which I have a couple to Army of One or Joshua Tree with Dolph Lundgren. as Santee. The first one that I have for you is bikers back off after beating the big bodybuilder. The guys in the bar do seem like badass biker guys, but realistically, they back off after they realize they're up against something that's maybe not human. And they gave with subtlety the bikers kind of a human quality. Like the guy feels like he needs to defend his turf, and the Terminator, who we think is just a big strong guy at this point, right? If you're the bikers. Asks him to strip naked and give him his motorcycle. So I might take that as an insult as well. I don't know that I'd burn my cigar into his chest, but it's realistic. Yeah. And then after he beats the fuck out of 3 of these guys, they back off. In a lot of action movies, what they do is the 4th guy is just like, oh, and runs at him and also gets his head pounded in, and he beats up all the bikers. Yeah. But it's realistic and it ages well. Yeah. That in 91 they were able to temper that that need for violence. It's a very violent movie, but I like that a lot. Yeah. Number 2, retro gaming. I love the Galleria.
Oh yeah, because they were playing that was Missile Command, I think, right? And then there's like Tempest in the background and like all the Windows like 3.2 games I had on like my first computer that like had the mouse with the wheel on it, and I'd beep, 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 like fucking all day. It's cool.
Yeah, it brings you back, you know?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Number 3, superb soundtrack. It's actually a very small soundtrack from what I can tell. I think it's is it that Guns N' Roses when they're on the dirt bike?
Yes.
And then George Thorogood, Bad to the Bone.
Yeah. Bad to the Bone is perfect right there. And what else? Just the theme, the one that Rob is recreating for us with his kazoo. It's fantastic though. I think the music fits the feel of the movie really well. Yes, personally. Okay, so I wrote this down because I've kind of already said, but Michael Biehn and deleted scenes are not screened. I didn't know this, but watching the deleted scenes, I was Bob, I'm not saying you have to go watch the theatrical now, but it is a much tighter, better movie without the stuff that they cut out, including Michael Bihn's, I think that's his name, right? The guy that's in Aliens. And we've talked about him before. He has a scene...
I think you're right. I know you're right, because when I watched this one, I don't remember the deleted scenes. I'm like, wait a minute, did I miss this last time? And I didn't realize it was a deleted scene until you said so. So that helps.
Yeah, it's stuff they cut out, and it does trim the fat, because the movie is already a couple hours long, so it doesn't need to be 220 or whatever.
It was 2 and I watched it on HBO Max because I had time to like not have to like watch it at a faster speed. It was 2.5 hours theatrical. It was
still really?
2.5
okay.
hours, yeah.
Oh, no kidding. All right. We mentioned this as well, but the Terminator turnaround, and what I mean by that is that Arnold is not the bad guy, and I didn't realize that the trailers kind of gave that away. That's a real bummer. So that was news to me when you read that YouTube comment. But yeah, the fact that they make, and it's explained well. You want Arnold to be the good Terminator now because he's a pop culture icon in 91. But the way that they explain that is that the humans in the future can only afford basically to rig an older model, and send it back, and that's a good enough explanation for me. Yeah. Speaking of Arnold, number 6, Arnold's arms and accent are alleviated. Playing this role, could there be a better role for Arnold, the Austrian bodybuilder in America? It doesn't completely explain why he has an Austrian accent, but they don't say, I'm from Europe, but I moved here when I was young. It just works because Austrian, German, that area of the world has a very cold kind of, no offense, but kind of a computer-like sound to it, to me.
And to that point, I think like that's what they tried doing with Vin Diesel and like early in his career, because you're just kind of like a meathead. You're a bodybuilder first and an actor second. Yeah. And they tried giving him the same like Arnold type of rhythms, and it's like, oh well, you're more like robotic. You're like Riddick. You're like all these characters.
Sure.
And he just failed to do it as well.
Well, they do a good job of writing lines that would be said by a computer that are funny. You'll see in the dialogue, because that's kind of what I focused on. But yeah, it also explained like we saw what was the Arnold movie Commando, where he like lifts a telephone booth because it's still the 80s and we want to see how strong Arnold is, even if it's fictional. We want to like brag to ourselves as it can be. In this one, he's a robot killing machine. So it makes sense that he's so strong, and it kind of mitigates the cheesiness of him being, like punching the quarters out of the telephone thing. Yeah. Like all of that helps to tone down Arnold and make his performance more professional, like he's an actor and not something we're just gawking at.
Yeah. Also, to properly hide a robotic skeleton, you have to have bulk. You can't. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's a very good point. Yeah.
That's why Robert Patrick works well as liquid metal, because he doesn't need to hide all the gears and the servos and stuff,
Yeah, and it's cool that they're both metal robots. So it also explains why Robert Patrick is a match for Arnold. Never really was I thinking, oh, he can't compete because he's also a metal machine and not a much smaller human. Teaching Terminator toned down techniques is number 7. So instead of just having this be, this kind of the same as our first Bikers Back Off thing, instead of him being needlessly violent against people that we think that deserve it, he is violent towards people who don't really deserve it, but as a means of getting the mission done with speed and without killing them.
Yeah, and to your...
He still shoots them
in their kneecaps.
He definitely still shoots them. Yeah,
he still permanently damages them for the rest of their traumatized lives.
But to Chris's point, though, instead of like wrecking the car and hot wiring, he's now checking the visor for the key.
Right. Yeah, and then leaving their car, 600 miles west or whatever
in the quarry.
Yeah. But he's not pulling a Santee and for no reason destroying her pickup truck by throwing it off cliff.
Yeah. I forgot how bad that movie was.
Oh god, it was pathetic.
What a way to end the fucking season. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys have any mentions? Because that's where I stopped.
So I've seen Terminator, the first Terminator, maybe 2 or 3 times. Like probably like the latest I watched it was when I was like 12 or 13, and I haven't seen it since. Terminator 2 I've seen like 100 times. It's not a patronizing movie. You could watch it as a sequel, and they fold in so much of the old plot line into the new one by showing and not telling, which is like writers 101. It's like you show, you don't tell. You don't like say it through dialogue. You just show it through visual cues. And it's a great job. You don't need the first Terminator film to enjoy Judgment Day at all.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I'll be perfectly honest. I really didn't like the first one nearly as much as the second one. I feel like it's so much exposition and such lacking in action. The second one makes up for it.
All right, nice. I thought you were going to be throwing more jabs. So far, you seem to be complying, so I appreciate that. Another win for Chris.
Yeah, 90%. No win.
All right, so we're going to move on to test number 4, but before we do, I just wanted to say that I sort of mentioned, but I felt like I wanted to talk about what the dialogue does, and it provides needed comic relief, in my opinion, for what is otherwise a very heavy movie with heavy material.
Yeah. Dystopian sci-fi, for sure, yeah.
Right, so these clips are going to mostly be kind of short, and they're going to rely a little bit more on, showing off their comedic chops here. But let's do test number 4, the best dialogue.
Sarah Connor, come with me if you want to hear the best dialogue.
Nice.
That's awesome. Okay, let's start with number...
Oh. 1 second.
I like dongs.
Wait, wrong one.
I'm
sorry.
5. Man, you do a good Chris impression. That definitely wasn't me. All right, this one's called Code.
Code. Here we go.
I have a personal entry code for the lab. It may still work. It's no good.
Let me try mine.
John, fire in the hole!
Let me try mine. Classic Arnold. It's number 5 because it's not the best.
Yeah.
Of the 5 that I have, but also I like that. I like that Sarah says to John a lot of things in like sort of military style. It's like military style dialogue that goes to further the point that she has trained him to be.
Yes.
You know, they give you the cues that he has learned what these things mean and has them in his repertoire.
Up to the point before she was institutionalized, he thought everybody lived a certain way, and that was his mother, how his mother lived.
Yeah.
Which was like training, constantly preparing for this inevitably to happen.
He does say that. So that's just a nod. And it's consistent.
Yeah.
So let's go to number 4. This one maybe a little bit more for the YouTube audience, but I'll be happy to explain it afterwards. So number 4. I thought for sure you were going to play Dongs. All right, this one's called Chopper Hop.
Get out.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a particular style for Terminator 2. It's there's another line, and I'll bring it up in the catch-all, so I'm foreshadowing it now. But the subject matter is super serious, but somehow it's funny. Like, so Robert Patrick's T-1000 there leaps from a building on a motorcycle and catches a helicopter, smashes the window in with his helmet, and then liquid metal like slurps himself into the helicopter. Yeah. And as he reforms into a human-looking thing, he turns to the helicopter pilot and simply says, "Get out." And the helicopter pilot like gives him a little nod and then leaps out of the helicopter because he'd rather chance falling to his death and maybe surviving than staying in the helicopter with the liquid metal thing that just wormed its way into the helicopter, which I don't blame him. And it was funny, although it's not a particularly funny line. It's just good writing.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay.
Good pacing.
Yes, absolutely. Number 3, I'm going to do this one myself. This is 3. Thank you. John says, you guys remember, just for context, you remember when he is learning about the Terminator, and then the Terminator grabs him by the coat, and John doesn't know yet that he has control of him. So he's like, "Oh, get off of me," whatever, and then he screams to the 2 like muscle-headed guys that just came out of a convenience store. Mm. And those guys come over to help him, and the Terminator does what he does best and like beats the shit out of them. And then he pulls out his gun, and John's like, "No," and like knocks his hand away, and the gun goes off, and they run away. And John goes, "Jesus, you were gonna kill that guy!" And the Terminator says, "Of course, I'm a Terminator." Which is another one of those, like I was saying, lines that a robot would deliver. Not knowing the comedic value that it has, but us, the viewer, can appreciate it because we are sentient human beings who can do that kind of work in our head.
Sound clip that.
I will.
Yeah, I got it right up on the mic for that. I have no cares. It's a good movie episode. So, number 2. 2. Thank you. This one's called Bones.
Broke my arm.
There are 215 bones in the human body. That's 1. Now don't move.
What are you gonna do?
Why do we stop now?
Now you gotta promise me you're not gonna kill anyone, right?
Right.
Swear?
What?
Just put up your hand and say, "I swear I won't kill anyone."
I swear I will not kill anyone.
All right, let's go.
Visiting hours is 10 to 4, Monday through Friday.
What the hell are you doing?
You son of a bitch! You shot me!
He'll live.
Yes.
I
mean,
so
right?
badass.
He'll bleed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really might. Hey, the Terminator knows better. Like you said, he knows the human anatomy. He can suture, and he knew where he shot him was not a vital spot.
That's right.
And he wouldn't want to lie to John.
He knows better than Sarah Connor because there's only 206 bones in the human body. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I used to quote that as a kid all the time. That's why I started there. I always thought that was a really cool line. So when I was younger, when I saw that, I was like...
I always thought, I remember the pickup line, like, you walk up to a chick and you're like, there's 206 bones in the human body. How would you like 207? So I always mix it up.
That's really good. I never heard that one.
No, really?
Yeah. All right. Well, that could have been number one, but instead, number one after the drum roll. One. Is Wolfie. I like dongs.
Sorry.
Look, Todd and Janelle are dicks. But I gotta warn them. Shit. You got a quarter?
Hello?
Janelle, it's me.
John?
Yeah. Everything all right? Are you guys okay?
Are you all right?
Fine.
John, it's late. Honey, I was beginning to worry about you. If you hurry home, we can sit down and have dinner together. I'm making beef stew.
Something's wrong. She's nervous.
John? Where are you?
What the hell is the goddamn dog barking at? Hey! Shut up, you worthless piece of shit!
Dog's really barking.
Jeez.
I thought you were gonna tell the kid to get rid of that fucking mutt.
John, honey, it's late. Please don't make...
Can we be there?
Honey, are you okay?
I'm right here. I'm fine.
You all right?
What's the dog's name?
Max. Hey, Janelle. What's wrong with Wolfie? I can hear him barking. Is he okay?
Wolfie's fine, honey. Wolfie's just fine. Where are you?
If was the parents are dead.
Oh, so fucking good.
I mean, they made them kind of assholes. I think so. It lessens the blow of learning that those two people are dead. But you kind of already know, like the moment that Janelle or whatever switches hands, and then you hear the like, yeah, you know, it's the T-1000. I mean, you kind of were. They also made them kind of dicks so that when she's super nice, over chopping vegetables, that it's probably the T-1000. And then you get your information. But yeah, I like the writing, and I thought it was well acted by what I call in the catch-all a changeling in what's her name? Jeanette. She's a famous actress. I'm trying to find it. I'm not going to waste too much time here, but
I think
Jeanette
I've seen her
Goldstein.
stuff, right? Okay, I know her.
She's also in Aliens, and she plays Vasquez, and she is like a ripped and much tanner, short-haired person. She looks nothing like that.
Yeah,
she's also an Irish mom in Titanic, and she's the nurse in Senseless. I saw.
Oh wow!
So another one that we did.
Good for her.
Yeah. So she, yeah, that was a really good choice by her and her agent.
Aliens. That would have been my pick for this week. Anyway.
Well, you know, I do love Aliens quite a bit, and it's an action movie. So maybe the next time that we have a action heavy season, we can go with that. That movie is kick ass. Okay, let's do Rob's ad read.
Okay. Today's episode of The Best Movie Ever Made is brought to you by Bro Brain's Mental Optimizing Vitality Capsules for Bros. Listen, we know that you know this stuff is basically just truck stop caffeine pills stuffed into a gel cap with ground up dog food and arnica, but it's the sponsor of our show, and we are telling you with a straight face that we've never been more focused, clear, and full of virility in our lives. You just have to take our word for it. So in between kettlebell exercises, ice baths, reading 10 books a day, and reposting other people's platitudes on LinkedIn with the words "this" as your caption, maybe just give us your money because we're in pretty deep with the folks at BroBrains and they have our tax information and address on file. Oh, that? No, I wasn't looking off camera for a nod of approval. And there's not a gun pointed directly at my head if I mess up this ad read. Just buy it, okay?
Well, I hope you're safe, and thank you, BroBrains.
I blinked twice. Just do
I
what
saw
you want.
that.
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, unfortunately, you're kind of far away.
Yeah.
I can't really
I'm
really
dead.
get there.
It's
time.
fine.
Plus, I'm in the middle of a podcast, so I can't really call anybody.
Fair.
All right. Test number 5, the best production.
So many fucking tabs. Best production. There we go.
Now it's time for the best production. Yeah.
I messed that one up. I kind of phoned that one in.
I liked all.
That one's crisp, though.
That just sounds amazing. Still don't know how you managed to make it sound so much like me.
Future.
Amazing. Future AI. I feel like Chris was nervous to let me do this segment by myself. But
yeah, I wrote it down and I was writing the best production. I was like, he's gonna fuck with this. I know he is.
But I'm a company man. So
all right.
So what I'm saying, and I really felt this way when I watched this, they avoided most action tropes.
They did
very well. So they showed them reloading. Like I put a segment on my Thinking Movie Scenes page of them escaping the elevator in the parking garage. And like they very intentionally show them like, I'm out of ammo. Help me reload. And like that's, you don't see that ever in an action movie. So clearly they showed it and then later in the desert they showed where they get the ammo and they get the weapons. Like nothing was left to the imagination or doubt. And I'll have to say the truck in the what do you call it? Like the gully, the drain,
the reservoir.
Reservoir. I also struggled to find that word, and it's.
I thought I thought the way the truck handled was more realistic than most action movies. Most action movies are like, this truck is like a race car, but they showed the truck really struggling to make those tight turns and bounce off the walls, and then eventually it just failed. So I'm going to say the action sequences, just in general, were filmed better than almost every other action movie. I'll say.
Wow, nice. So how do you want me to tag it? Not, for the comparison that we're totally.
I think, like I said, avoided action tropes.
Okay, yeah, I have that written, and I think also just to bolster your claim there, showing them reload, especially in the car chase when they're getting away from the T-1000, and he does the hooks on the back. When she keeps telling John that she's out of ammo, John is ready with another clip because, again, he's been trained his whole life to help his mother in that way. I don't know what they were doing where they needed to, maybe robbing banks and stuff with the guy they got the ammo from. I don't know, but they left that to the imagination because we don't need to know. We just need to know that he's well trained, and that was another way of showing it.
And one thing that they actually, my credit is they left some things to the imagination. They knew their limitations on the special effects. When Robert Patrick was walking as a liquefied guy, the camera would cut away and it'd cut back and he'd be a full human. They didn't. They knew the morph might have looked rough, so they just they left it out and you knew what happened basically.
But they showed the morph when he was running and it still looked okay.
That did, yes, but the close up, they were like, no, let's not do
right.
close up. Yeah.
Right.
And when they finally did do the close up morph, it was later when they explained that the heat was making him like kind of gooey.
Yeah.
So I think it helped with masking the transition a little bit because they kept showing him like rippling almost.
Yeah.
So
glitching.
Glitching, so to speak. Yeah. So amazing graphics department, but we have much more to say on that. Yeah, the action in this movie was not tropey at all, though. I completely agree. Test number 6, the best acting.
It's easy to have good acting because they're all robots. You can just program them to act good. Have you ever thought about that? Didn't think so.
Yeah, these are awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's go with number 1. 1. Robot Patrick.
That was clever.
Are you the legal guardian of John Connor?
That's right, officer. What's he done now?
Could I speak with him, please?
Could if he were here. He took off on his bike this morning, so he could be anywhere.
Do you have a photograph of John?
Yeah, sure. Hold on.
You gonna tell me what this is about?
Just need to ask him a few questions. He's a good-looking boy. Do you mind if I keep this picture?
No, go on. There was a guy here this morning looking for him, too.
Yeah, big guy on a bike. Does that got something to do with this?
No. I wouldn't worry about him. Thanks for your cooperation.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason I clipped that is because I think Robert Patrick is doing an amazing job flirting the line between a believable human and a believable robot. That's not the easiest thing to do, if you ask me, is to be pleasant enough that a person that you're talking to wouldn't be suspicious. And he does this many times, but I thought never better than that clip there, where he gives them just a bit of a cheeky smile, as they would say in the UK, on his way out. Thanks for the cooperation. He knew not to bring any suspicion, but he's also not human. He just does he does just the right level of I'm robotic and calculating, I'm friendly and believably human, and that seems tough to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So good on him.
Hard.
Number 2, this one's Daddy. 2.
Daddy! Daddy! Nobody fucking move! Don't hurt my daddy! Get on the floor, bitch. Fucking down now! Oh, God. Get out of the way! Don't hurt him! Get on the floor. Fucking down now!
Just let the boy go.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! It's all your fault! Motherfucker, it's all your fault! What? I let you do it.
Yeah.
So his name's Joe Morton. It's the guy that later is seen holding the sort of weight over the kill switch for the bomb.
Yeah.
And that's great too, where he's like breathing heavy and he's like, I don't know how much longer I can hold this. I almost clipped that, but I actually thought the son was great too.
Yeah.
Maybe they shouldn't have named him Danny because the dialogue there is Danny and Daddy, and those are a little too close for me, but I mean that's a nitpick. But Linda Hamilton is just a touch. Maybe this is how Bob feels about Terminator 2. Like I'm 95% there with her on that one. Not 90, 95. And I feel like she does a pretty good job. It's another hard ask. She's supposed to be maybe psychotic actually, because how could you not be after all of this shit that's happened to you?
Yeah.
I think you would be. I think any human would be. So she's struggling with the knowing she's right. But anybody who's delusional in that way thinks that they are. And she has to belt out these like motherfuckers get on the ground. Like I don't want to be doing this, but I have to do this. And the struggle for her to ultimately decide not to kill him which I liked, without John coming in. Kind of redeeming her, even though she just shot him and like tried to kill him. Ultimately, when she had to hold the gun over him, she backs off. You'll see it on YouTube. If you're a YouTube subscriber and watcher, please subscribe to YouTube. Hit the notification bell. Do all that stuff that people ask you to do. I'm asking it too. I thought she was pretty believable there. But the stars for me were Joe Morton and the actor playing his son.
Yeah, and to Linda Hamilton's credit, I think she nailed it on the physique, because in Terminator 1, she was average build.
Yep.
And like she has like the paranoid, I need to be ropey, I need to be wiry, but cut. And like it just kind of it made the delusion more believable because you know she's in her cells doing pull-ups like fucking like 10 hours a day.
Yep.
Yeah.
She was ripped. Yeah, because she was trying to escape to protect John because she knows he's the future, right? Okay, so future. The next clip, I had to do it. I'm sorry. It is part of a deleted scene. I didn't know where else to put it, and I just had to have it. I think you guys will appreciate. This one is number 3. This is cheese.
See that guy over there? That's a smile.
You're great.
That's good. Maybe you could practice in front of a mirror or something.
I feel like everyone has to see that. If you're unaware, Arnold does his best like robot learning to smile. It's absolutely insane. I screenshot it and sent it to the guys earlier in the week because when I saw it, it reminded me just how insane that scene was. And you have to see it. I'm sorry I took one clip for best acting. It's a well acted movie. It's not the number one reason it's a good movie. So that's where I stuck it. Come at me.
I'm gonna come at you for putting Edward Furlong in best acting. Jesus Christ!
All right, it wasn't about him.
And
I agree. He was definitely the rough
weakest link
patch of the movie. For sure.
I'm gonna give credit to our unofficial sponsor. What's it? Honest Trailers, because they mentioned that the Terminator has detailed files on human anatomy, but he never learned how to smile.
That's a good point.
Totally fair. Still, I had to. You have to see it. Check out our YouTube if you want to see the clip. Don't
So are you telling me that was a deleted scene? Is that right?
Yeah, it was. It was not in the theater.
Okay, that makes sense. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It shouldn't really be in the actual. It's too not to be
deleted scenes. Deleted scenes were edited out for a reason. I do feel that way.
Yeah, and I feel like most of the time. They know where and why to clip, and I think they did a great job with this movie because I don't think they needed anything that they didn't include.
Right.
Personally. Okay. How about fact or no fact?
Oh, right. Bob is a liar. He will lie to confuse us, but he will also mix lies with the truth to attack us. His attack is psychological and powerful.
That's awesome.
I'm so proud of you for making fresh bumpers just for this one episode.
Yeah,
slow work week.
Good on you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know the old classic standard T for 2, but that's what I called this test.
Okay.
Oh, nice. T for 2. Yeah, I've heard it.
All right, so this is a good movie week. So I did 4 facts and 1 lie.
Okay.
Cool.
And for Chris to win, he has to pick out the one lie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And Rob, you don't love winning as much, so it doesn't matter.
I don't give a shit.
Okay. So
I need to win. It's not that I like it.
We're starting with Linda Hamilton. So Linda Hamilton apparently learned how to pick locks for her scene in the hospital when she actually does pick locks.
Okay.
With a paperclip. All right. The scene when the Terminator, I'm talking Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator, tells Sarah Connor about Miles Dyson and Skynet. He was reading his lines from a card taped to the windshield because it was too much detail for him to remember. All right. Robert Patrick, the guy that we just gave credit for acting, he mimicked the head movements of an American bald eagle to be more like the robot, the T-1000.
Huh.
All right. Edward Furlong, my favorite. He couldn't generate tears for his 2 crying scenes, so he had to dab a little bit of hot pepper oil near his eyes.
Okay.
And this is for Rob. One of the main percussive sounds of the score, you know, that dun 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 dun,
Yeah.
was actually a striking a cast iron frying pan.
Which is exactly what Rob was doing in his kitchen when he made the.
Yeah.
No wonder it sounds so much like the movie.
Cast iron, just like that guy on the YouTube channel or TikTok.
Yeah. I mean, Slipknot did it with a beer keg, so it's not too far fetched.
All right, that's 5. So go for it.
For the YouTube audience, every time I look up and take my headphones off, it's because like they're having like a fucking wrestling match or something above me, and I can't tell if it's my kids or not. Okay. That's why I got the dog whistle. All right. So Linda Hamilton learned how to pick locks. Believable, but lock pick lawyer has YouTube wasn't around yet, so where would she learn how to do that? You know. So
true. Good point.
Lines taped to the windshield. I think that's believable because this is an action movie. He doesn't have long stretches of dialogue. And like you're also coordinating stunts, like doing that cool like whip around thing with the shotgun on your drive. Like, you know, like you might need an assist. And at that point it might be green screen, so he's kind of like chilling to read his lines. So that's believable. That's on my short list. American Bald Eagle, I think that's just something Bob made up, but it's like very convincing because now that I think about it, he really does look bald eaglish.
Don't forget, only one of these is fake.
Yeah, I'm looking for the lie.
Okay.
Crying. So John Connor couldn't cry. Pepper oil. He's a kid. Kids know how to cry. So I think that might be a lie. And the frying pan. I think the frying pan's true. Because I mean, like, a lot of times in movies when they have gunshots, they also impose, they put someone like hitting an anvil with a hammer to give it like that sound. So it's not far fetched to supplement a drum patch with something else. I think the lie is the crying. I think kids are hormonal. They're young. You're on the set for like a long time during the day. Like you could emotions probably run hot if you have like a rough day on the set. So I mean, like I think it's easy for a kid to like just fucking muster up some tears because like you're having some long days. So I think he could cry. I think the lie was the pepper oil.
Right.
He didn't mustard them up. He peppered them up. Oh, I like dogs.
Oh, good one, chef.
All right, let's see. I really like the bald eagle one. I feel like it would be. I'm so glad that you went with Furlong dabbing hot pepper because I wanted to go there because I know Bob hates him, but I also know that Bob knows that we know he hates him. I messed up somewhere along the line there.
Bobception strikes again.
Yes, Bobception. Bob foolery. So now I'm torn. It's believable that Arnold would have the lines on the windshield. It is. Linda Hamilton learning the locks seems unnecessary because she really only needs to stick them in there and she doesn't have to pop the lock in actuality. So all they really had, I mean, that would be, she does seem committed. As you said, she does get ripped, so maybe she went a little more method than I'm giving her credit for. Cast iron. I've seen no reason why that would be a lie, and the Robert Patrick bald eagle thing I think is true, just because of the way he moves. So
listen to your heart, Chris.
My heart is telling me to go Linda Hamilton
or looking at my eyes.
Yeah. Let me see those.
Camera's over here. I was staring at my microphone like a fucking idiot.
All right, I'm going to say Linda Hamilton did not learn how to pick locks.
All right, so we'll start with the facts. Arnold did read the lines off the windshield. Yes, he did.
Not surprising.
Robert Patrick did mimic the American bald eagle. Yes, he did.
Okay.
I was most convinced of that one.
And the metallic sound was striking a cast iron frying pan.
Yeah, you see,
which means
a sous chef
there were
two.
This. So one of us has to be right.
Which means
right?
one of you is right.
We win this week. Woo! It's me.
Oh, Mario.
Unfortunately, it's not you. I made up the Edward Furlong one because I hate him so much.
Damn it. Yeah.
So your
thought
instinct was right, Chris. So
I
Bob,
thought he might.
Yeah.
You
so Furlong can make tears.
You went one twist too much.
Yeah, I tend to do that. You know what? It's a team win. Rob and I are partners in this one, so I'll consider myself a winner.
And do you know why Chris went one twist too much? Because
I like dongs. Moving on to the catch-all as fast as I can.
That's good. Catch-all.
You've caught one. You've caught them all. Welcome to the catch-all.
I literally just put the old one over the new one.
It's so good.
It is great.
Good stuff.
That the kazoo at the end had me remembering the gotta catch 'em all, and then
The
you
trail
like
off. The sad trail off.
All right. At this rate, I buy that LA will look like that in 6 years, with the way the world is today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To a touch cheap moments for me, but items of badassery include the crunching of human skulls in Flaming Playground. James Cameron might have gone a little far with those, but still, I mean, it's good cinematography.
It was effective.
Yeah.
Yes. The machines are actually scary. I mean, the the unmanned silver helicopter death machine things. My God, that is really horrifying thing stuff.
Yeah.
We kind of have them, sort of, in the way of drones now. So, the superheated electric sphere from the future, cutting through whatever objects are in its radius feels right, and it feels cool. I don't know its future, like sending things back in time, but the way that it just cuts whatever it's in, like whatever.
And the crater is like so smooth and like glowing. It's like an egg. It's cool.
It's just
like
beautiful.
They're like a flying time egg. Ooh,
flying time
eggs. Okay, go on.
Weren't there flying time eggs in the Son of the Mask? Or no, that was flying time sperm, I think.
Yes,
right.
Flying green sperm.
Okay. Yeah, I got that backwards. Mucinex style. All right, this is wordy and stupid, and I didn't write it very well, but I didn't rewrite it either. I give a lot of credit. I give a lot of grief to computer scanning jibbery Jew. And there is some pointless number sequences when Arnold is scanning things. But when I randomly paused, the vehicle size, horsepower, torque, suspension, weight, capacity all had numbers next to them, and I thought that was plausible jibbery Jew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plausible jibbery Jew. And one thing on that, plausible jibbery Jew.
J-O-O.
J-O-O, yes.
Yes.
Don't clip me saying that. So like it's been said of me, like when I go to the grocery store, that like I have like that readout. Because like, I'm looking for like the gummies. I'm like multi-pack snacks. What aisle 3? Like
and
I'm
in
just,
your
like,
head, it's like a typewriter, like
and then like you see a family with like 4 kids hanging from the shopping cart. It's like potential threat, and you just fucking go that way.
Yeah,
you go all the way down aisle 7 and loop past 8 to get to aisle 9 instead of like cutting through 8 because like it's a potential threat. Like I've been told I insanely scan rooms when I'm trying to get in and out.
But when you get to aisle 9, there's just some like old lady bending over to get like a loaf of bread, and your scanner is like, "Do I kill?" But then it says, "No, already deceased." And like,
she has one of those little reaching claws for her beans.
Yeah, one of those. God, I hate those old ladies that take up the whole aisle.
Speaking of the data scanning, the only one I'm going to pick on is the same one that was picked on in the video, which was his fatalities was rounded to the 10th decimal place.
Yes, 0.0. Yeah. Oh man, I hated that too. I didn't write that down, but human casualties 0.0.
That's right. Yeah. 10th place fatalities.
Well, what if they weren't all normies?
Soldier. That was the first episode of the season, right? So that's a good callback.
Great callback.
I think it was Ice Pirates, wasn't it? I feel like it was Dr. Ezekiel.
No, I'm not opening another tab right now.
No, you're right. It was Soldier. You're right.
All right.
No. You're right. Okay. Oh, and Jibbery Jew, by the way, is just a South Park reference since we hadn't done one yet.
Oh yeah, bureaucratic.
When he
the First Amendment. Yeah, it's a bunch of bureaucratic gibbery.
When he steals the sunglasses, that whole scene is epic. I mean, the bar fight and everything, but like when he walks up to the guy and steals the
quick grab, and
then he takes the sunglasses. So it's just awesome. Very smart to make the T-1000 a cop because it gives him a lot of advantages, and it furthers he's the actual good guy between the two of them. Kind of deception they're going for, you know.
Yeah.
Again, the trailer is a disappointment if that's true that they gave it away.
Yeah.
The Foster. Okay, I already mentioned Vasquez. John is a bit of a douche. Just the character. Edward Furlong as well from what I read. But the actual character is a bit of a douche. I mean, like stealing $300 from just some person is a pretty shitty thing to do.
I mean, he's 13. He's raised by foster parents. I'll give them a little bit on characterization.
He's hanging out with Bobby Budnick, getting in all sorts of trouble. You know.
Yeah, that's from Salute Your Shorts
and other things.
Yeah, yes, other things like Terminator 2.
And that one time in Hey Arnold when he was a stupid kid.
God, don't go there. The psychologist, what have you, delivering exposition to the trainees is a good vehicle for exposition, I thought.
Yeah.
It's not to hit you over the head. He's explaining to everyone who hasn't seen the first Terminator Sarah's story, but he's telling people who are putting in their clinical hours. So to speak. And I thought that was a really nice move. The trainee's looking through the window, the very small window. Sarah's also gave you that caged animal vibe that I thought was effective as well.
Yeah.
It's okay to beat these dickhead CEOs practically to death now because of what they did to her. And not just the hitting her with a what would you call that, like a taser. You know, but also the like kind of heavy set one like licks her face when it suggests slightly more politely than they could have that he is a freaky boy, you know, in the Kill Bill kind of
kind of smashing that bean. I think is what you're trying to say.
I think they only made him lick her face to qualify her knocking him senseless.
That's exactly what I'm going for. Yeah,
which is cheap, but at the same time,
it is
effective.
Yeah,
they did also have the scene where he just out of nowhere like hits her in the stomach with the
True. They just wanted to make sure he was really deserving.
Yeah.
Yes, because they suggest very lightly that he might be doing other terrible things.
Yeah.
The nuke scenes were very disturbing when I was younger.
Oh, the fence, the freaking playground.
Yeah, that really bothered me. I mean, I showed Erin because she's only seen the movie once or twice, and I just I was like, hey, could you come over here and look at this? Because I want to know if I'm alone here. Because they do a pretty good job of showing a nuclear blast with small models, I think.
Once again, core memory, like this movie, like that scene in particular is just like, that's just humanity being fucking eviscerated, somewhat realistically for the mind of a 5 or 6 year old watching it. And
exactly.
It's cool.
The same way.
It's also very cool.
Yeah,
it is cool.
Fast forward 30 years to Crystal Skull, and they didn't do it better.
No, they did not. That's a very good point.
While we're on the subject, and it is South Park bingo, I had to fact check this, but I remember in an interview, Matt Stone and Trey Parker, when they first got into the 6-day timeline, they said that they use the same graphics engine that Terminator 2 used to bang out the construction paper animation of South Park, and that's why they could do it so fast, because they're using a sophisticated special effects model to do cartoons. Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's cool. I didn't know that. All right, let's do a clip. We got 2 more clips. I put them in the catch-all because they're kind of fun. This one is called Bah. Why did he do that? I should have thrown into that when we were talking about him a second ago. But it really bothered me that he's just like. I feel like, all right, not taking you to the gallery with me anymore.
Yeah.
All right, the T-1000 should run when chasing John. Let's be honest. Right, because he does. When he gets on his dirt bike, he's like, no, I have a challenge. It's like your mission is to kill this kid, and you're in a hallway with him, only you're walking like like Jason Voorhees.
Right.
Just run at him, and he's dead.
Yep.
Or just make yourself like a really long spear out of your hand when he's like 15.
Yeah, same thing in the
end.
Kill
a couple kids as well.
Yeah, same thing in the end sequence when like they're in the steel mill or whatever, where it's just like, why aren't you? The guy could run full tilt like faster than a fucking gazelle. Like, why is he not just like? I guess he's weakened at that point a little bit.
Yes,
but like he's just like he's walking. Yeah,
he's a little gooey.
Yeah, a little gooey.
But speaking of his running form is intimidating in real life. Like that dude probably can run really fast. It looked great.
When like in gym class, like in elementary school, when we had to like run the mile or like the 100-meter dash.
Yeah,
I thought the way he ran with his hands open made you run faster. So like I would try doing that to shave some seconds off, and I'm sure I look like a fucking moron.
What was my time? Was it T-1000 seconds?
17 minutes for a mile? No, the 100-meter dash.
So he trained running by only breathing through his nose, so he'd look more robotic in the movie when he actually ran.
Man, that's cool.
Wow,
good detail.
Cool. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, really cool detail. The LA River chase scenes were amazing. The bike jump, the 18-wheeler explosion, and the cool T-1000 graphics we mentioned already. When he comes out of the fire, just really awesome scene.
Yeah,
and it's like a half an hour into the movie, so it's not like it starts you off, but it really gives you a sense of what kind of action movie you're in.
Yeah.
And we also said this, but Arnold's one-handed reloads are awesome.
The fucking whip around shit.
Yeah.
So fucking cool.
Really cool. I don't know exactly how it works. I was trying to like figure it out in my head, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
I did write down some tropes, but they are not maybe super typical to your point, Bob. And there's not a lot of them. I struggled because I usually do put tropes in, and I didn't want to shy away just because it's a good movie. The truck explosion maybe was something that wouldn't happen. It's like an electrical catch on like oil that was spilling. It was
the spark
kind of
plug,
convenient.
right? Yeah.
You know?
Oh, right.
Yeah. The walking killer. Green screen windows. It's not exactly a trope, but it's like a graphics thing that I wish people didn't do.
I was really surprised they did that.
Yeah, because like to your point, Bob, it's like this is the kind of action movie and this is the kind of time in filmmaking where like I'm sure driving in LA or wherever they shot this was a fucking nightmare because they were closing off sections of highway to shoot this.
Yeah.
Because it looks like real and they probably had to buy the area to shoot, the location to shoot. Because meanwhile, they have the Seinfeld windshield when they're
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Yeah, really lame. Arnold says, I need a vacation. You know, the Terminator says that, and I was like, wow, that's a straight up trope. And then finally, the Santee. This is the other thing I wrote down about the Army of One. But the Santee garage hacking device that John has is kind of a trope. It's we said Deus Ex Machina before on the pod, but it's kind of like a God in the machine. Where he is able to access the key. They set it up early. Credit to them. He doesn't just pull it out at the end and like figure out how to hack the system. It's still a code, 4-digit code, so it's believable-ish, but it is tropey.
Yeah.
Can you conceivably escape bindings and a room with just one paperclip? Is my question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe in 91.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe the locks aren't super tough to get through. I don't know.
Yeah.
The T-1000 on the floor scene was amazing. Like the graphics department here is just shooting like 100%.
Yeah, for 91, that was amazing.
It really was unbelievable.
Considering the fact that Mortal Kombat came out 5 years later and looked like complete dog shit, is a testament to how good that how good Terminator looked.
They got a great team, probably for a high price, but it was worth every penny in my opinion. But if for context, it's I think it's actually the actors are twins, the security guard.
They are. They were in Good Morning Vietnam together as twins.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
They played fact checkers on the radio station, so it was almost like a a foreshadowing thing for me because I saw that security guard. I'm like, wait, that's that one twin guy from the Good Morning Vietnam.
Yeah.
And then of course his actual twin popped out of the ground.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what happens. The security guard walks over the T-1000 not knowing it because he disguised himself as floor tile, which is believable according to the rules that Arnold gave you, and that is that he needs to be pretty much the same size. But he can. John Connor says, "Oh, he could just become a pack of cigarettes or become a bomb and just come get me." And he's like, "No, he can't have any chemicals or moving parts inside.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It needs to be the same size." But him melting into the ground and becoming the floor tile, very thin and big, is works under those conditions.
Mhm.
So when he morphs back up, it's just wow, this villain is one of the coolest villains ever thought of.
Yeah.
There's so many things they can do, and they did. To their credit,
Yeah.
they did a lot with him, and just made his character super thrilling. I don't want to say scary in the way that a thriller is not a scary movie like the first one. His character got all that for me.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, so this is probably not worth mentioning, but when Sarah hits the CO that we were talking about, that licked her, in the face with the mop handle, they do a quick flash on the screen, almost just like a white, and it does give you the, if you've ever been hit really hard in the nose with something,
Yes.
if you get that. And I thought that was a really effective.
The Looney Tunes seeing star shit is real. If you get concussed or you get your bell rung, you kind of see stars.
You're dizzy. But that smash in the nose that he got from the mop when they flashed the screen, they didn't really give. It wasn't like a Brad Pitt naked in Fight Club. He didn't see anything. It was just a quick flash, and I thought it was super effective. I mentioned that I was going to say another funny line that didn't make the dialogue. When Sarah runs out, this is the same car, reload car chase scene. She runs out into the parking lot. There's a cop responding to the disturbance at the asylum or whatever. And he's in the parking lot, and she runs up and she points the gun at him. And she goes, "Get out of the car!" And then, before she has time to think about anything else, she just fires a bullet right through the windshield. And she's like, "Right now!" And the guy's like, "Oh," gets out of the car. And it's funny, but it's a very human moment. The car hook scene was tense. I don't know if I'm John, if I would touch the hook that's still stuck in the back.
Could be electrified or something. Yeah.
Or aware of itself and could kill you. I don't know.
He's 13.
It turns into a tiny Robert Patrick, and he just crawls up the car and starts smacking him.
I like the line when Robert Patrick's T-1000 goes up to the cop, and you already know what's going to happen. The cop on the bike, and he's like, "Say, that's a nice bike." And then the scene ends. You know what happens. They don't need to, show the cards there. The Terminator looking out the window through from night into morning was cool. That's a nice.
That was a good time lapse. Yeah.
I like that.
A snakehead fence.
Oh, that was weird.
I just feel like that guy's a little psychotic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just hunting snakes so you can post their heads on a fence.
Yeah.
Why is Sarah narrating halfway through the movie? It's
I know.
weird.
I didn't get that.
She narrated. She narrated at the beginning for a second, and then at the end, which to the discredit of the film, it's so everything's okay.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But...
I don't like that though, because
no, I didn't like it.
If they're narrating it from hindsight, it means they made it. So
yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. I noticed that John is wearing a Public Enemy shirt, which I thought is clever because they absolutely are at that point. And at this point in the movie, Furlong is bad. You're right, Bob. He's just bad.
Public Enemy, by the way, put a record out in 2020. It's amazing. Check it out.
What was it?
Public Enemy.
Public Enemy.
They put a new album.
Oh shit!
No kidding.
In 2020, it's so good.
I will listen to
check that out. Yeah, I will. The robot hand reveal scene is epic, but it does seem a little drastic to shed the skin from.
I guess when you B&E to someone's house and shoot their dad, I think you might need a desperate measure to be no, listen, dude, no care.
Really, he is a robot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like
right.
maybe one finger.
Fucking bussin'. Yeah.
just a finger, you know?
Yeah.
Just give him the pinky. That would. Yeah. Because he's already seen the robotic hand, so.
Yeah.
Honey, can you stay home with the boy? I'm gonna go destroy a building with this crazy woman, her douchey son, and a robot from the future.
Yeah.
There was one piece of comedy in there. It was unintentional when they're like, "We need to go blow up the Cyberdyne building," and he's like, "Right now?" It's like, dude, like, what do you think? You think you're gonna sleep on it and go tomorrow?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Edward Furlong's easy money line, a little bit more like cheesy money. Am I right?
That's going on the right. Cheesy money. Cool.
No denying the minigun is awesome.
Oh yeah, that's.
I'm not really a gun guy per se, but the minigun, like, that's a goddamn Tommy gun or whatever the helicopter guy says as he swoops away. It was cool.
And speaking of that, and just the sound design.
Yeah,
I was able to keep this move. My son's wall is like on the opposite. Like if you go through the wall my TV's on, that's where my son's crib is.
Yeah,
I watched this whole movie. I didn't have to constantly adjust the volume between the action scenes and the dialogue scenes. Like consistent explosion, and it's not like and then like they're whispering. It was like
right.
It made me very happy. I kept it between 8 and 10. I maybe had to go down like one notch during like the really explosive scenes, but.
Sure.
Sometimes you gotta like run to the remote and be like, fuck.
Yeah, that is true. That does happen.
That's a good observation. Yeah, I like that.
Why can't Skynet just send like 50 Terminators? I get why the humans can only afford to do one, but why can't Skynet just send like all they got at them?
I think it's got to be more of a covert operation, because if they send 50 robots, then like because if there's one menacing robot chasing like the people that like who survive it, then like you're less likely to believe a person if like everybody saw the fucking robots, right?
Okay, so it's like one cop has gone rogue.
Yeah, it's a sleeper cell like operation where it's like if one person's, we can institutionalize one person who maybe saw a robot because we can say she's crazy, but like if a whole room full of law enforcement all see the same like dozens of robots, then like there's got to be some weight to that they have to look into.
There is no Men in Black or Flash thing or Tooth Fairy Pixie Dust or whatever.
Yeah. I think what Rob's saying is you stole his alternate ending and he's upset.
No.
Oh no.
We good.
I'll be back. Good callback to the first one. Arnold enters the police station in the first one. Yeah, they deny him access, so he says, "I'll be back," and then a couple minutes later, he drives a car through the front office. It's cool when he says it again here. The frozen Terminator T-1000 thing was also cool when he's like frozen in
yes,
whatever that is. And you thought that was the end, right? I mean, like maybe, but Arnold shoots him like a fucking idiot. And when he broke into a million pieces and started dripping, like becoming
so cool.
liquid, I was like, quick, start mopping.
Yeah.
He turned from back to front, he like hits the wall and he's facing backwards and then just like
that was cool.
Morphs to the front. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And then Arnold punches him through the head and his head becomes his hands. Like this is what I was saying, like the computer inside the metal is very, very clever, and they found cool ways to use the vehicle that is the bad guy in this movie. But bad guy melts is a setup for the Mordor, like we have to melt it because it's evil, but we don't want to thing. Yeah. It's exactly like melting the ring in Lord of the Rings, and I think this because I have Lord of the Rings on the brain all the time. But watching him go, thumbs up into the melted steel or whatever was effective and sad, and I cried when I was young.
Yeah, so did I. I know why people cry now.
Yes, now I know why people cry. And Bob is shaking his head like.
Yeah, that's because his CPU was melted, but he still had the wherewithal to put a thumbs up.
Because he's a badass.
It hadn't gotten that deep into the core of it.
It was only partially destroyed.
Yeah,
you saw the deleted scene. You saw how deep that CPU was in the skull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was damaged just enough to do a dumbass thumbs up.
He was only 95% annihilated at that point.
Yeah, 95%. That's the number of the day. Fuck you, Bob. He's such a good idea for a bad guy. I wrote. There's the downside.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the downside of the old malleable metals for advanced Terminators idea. So when he enters a very hot area, and it's a good end. Fuck you, Bob. Mentions.
I have one, and it's hanging shit on the movie.
Yeah.
What reception/security desk at any hospital or asylum just has windshield washer fluid sized jugs marked poison? Just
what are you gonna do?
That's the one thing in the movie where I was like, wait, like, that's awfully convenient, Sarah.
That is
She
convenient.
puts the needle in there and just like.
Well, that was pretty deep within the facility. It wasn't like.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
To give the movie credit it deserves.
Yeah. Okay.
See, Chris, I'll give a mention. I was expecting about 10 fuck you Bobs. I only got 2, so good.
You only got 2.
We got a whole bunch of.
I like dongs.
So.
Okay, fuck you, Rob. Moving on to your alternate ending.
Okay. Where good Terminator alternate. This one's just the regular one.
Rob, alternate ending. Oh yeah.
See, I don't have one. I just think they should have stopped after Terminator 2 and not continued the story.
Completely accurate. Yeah.
And I haven't even seen the other one. It's just like I feel like just from watching the trailers and just reading about the ones that came after, like it didn't match the lore or the quality or any of like the spirit.
So I'm gonna go with my Evil Dead 2 logic. Evil Dead 2 was basically an upgrade of Evil Dead 1. It wasn't a sequel. It was an upgrade. This was an upgrade of the Terminator. It was much better, and it really should have just been the Terminator, and that's it.
Yeah,
and just a remake, because sequels suck.
Yeah,
they tend to. No, I agree. They tend to. Okay, bad credit names.
Bad credit names, like.
I'm Harvey Manfred Johnson.
Okay, we have a lot here, so I'm going to go lightning style. Edward Furlong, Arnold Schwarzenegger. These are not real names. Analysis Burr. Dick Zicker. I only put him so close to the beginning because we've heard him
many times.
We have, yes.
Zachi Blymeyer. I actually think we've heard too. Mm-hmm. Zachi Blymeyer is a weird one. Okay, now totally original. Knox Grantham White. Knox Grantham White.
Wow. Sounds like a 70s musician.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Mark Crash McCreary.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have made it. Even nicknaming yourself Crash, you wouldn't have made it. I'm assuming he's just that person. Unless your last name is McCreary, because that for some reason that completes it for me. Dan Tease.
Ew.
I just imagine him having like shaved legs and he only wears like really short shorts or something.
Dan Tease Peak. Yeah.
Dan Tease Peak. Bob was on for that episode. Really good one. Go check out Dante's Peak. It was like
the worst movie ever made.com. That was your first episode, I think, Bob, right?
No, I thought it was Catwoman.
No, that was Catwoman. Yeah, it was Catwoman.
Yeah, Catwoman, yeah.
Yeah, because we were like, we don't know if this guy's going to be any good. We'll throw him on for the last like third of the episode and we'll see. And then we were like, oh, this guy's great.
And then
we're like, we're nothing without you.
Yeah, Pipe Logic was born.
You complete me.
Yes, same.
Save that for your Jerry Maguire podcast.
Yeah.
Cotton Mather.
Yeah.
That's a weird one. Slick Rick Raider. This is like something that BTK would call himself.
Jeez. The Marat Phantom. Yeah.
The Marat Phantom. Oh man, he had so many bad ones.
Yeah.
This name was listed among other normal names, so I'm going to take it as it lies. Uzi Gal.
Ew.
Oh.
Yeah, real
like
weird.
Uzi like the gun, or Uzi like Ivan Ooze from Power Rangers?
Uzi. Uzi Gal. I was like, this has to be like a stage name, and maybe it is, but she was listed among other people. BJ Rack.
That's pretty good.
I'd buy one of those.
Yeah.
That's the winner.
Who wouldn't?
No, it's not. It's not the winner.
All right.
The winner is, and this is the last one, and I think we might have heard this one before. I don't care. It wins. Angus Poon.
Yep.
Angus Poon. Okay.
That's the winner. Chicken dinner right there.
Yeah, it is. Okay. We would normally compare the movies here and do the offensive minigame, but this movie wasn't offensive, and we're not comparing it to anything else. So we're going to move on to what we're watching next week, and unless I am wrong, it is Troy with Brad Pitt, Orlando Bloom, and Eric Bana.
Oh my God, yes.
I'm fairly certain it was ahead by a few votes. We actually got like 60 votes, 60, 70 votes this week. I was pretty happy with that turnout.
In the heat of the moment, I did make a movie comparison bumper, not realizing that we don't compare them. So I'm going to play it real quick, okay?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, you got it.
What, were you saying anything?
Time to compare the movies.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah, and I was saying it through like a bit crusher, so it sounded robotic. So.
Yeah, it did. All right, well, I mean, I guess all we have to do now is plug Troy one more time. Go out and watch it if you haven't seen it. It's a bit long, but it's really bad, and I love it. I can't wait to defend it.
This is one of those movies I do. It was entertainment value alone, and I think it's a great movie, but like film wise, it's not good.
Oh, man, it's bad, and I think it's a good way to start the next season.
Yeah,
I really do.
Next season is all about big.
Yeah, so
this
that could
was
be
huge.
So that could be A-list actors deviating from their normal quality, or like what we've done in the past with lofty expectations of high budget that just completely failed.
That's our pod. That's it. You know, it's just the perfect subject because that's what we are talking about here.
Or just large people like in My Giant.
Yes.
That will qualify. We'll put that back in the poll.
Yes.
Large people work. Big is the idea for the season. But yeah, Troy
I want to give shout out to Honest Trailers for that amazing trailer because I couldn't do better once I saw that. It killed my creativity. It was so good.
That's fair.
Well, we're gonna post that tomorrow. So thank you, Honest Trailers, for letting us steal that. Hopefully you do. We're giving you plenty of credit. But I was gonna say, Troy, just on the subject before we go, what's big about Troy is not just the actors but the sets. You will see how much money they spent on just the like mundane details in the back. It's crazy.
Yeah,
they spent so much money on the set design and the CGI, and it did not save the movie. Didn't come close. It's a bad performance, especially by Orlando Bloom. I can't wait to make fun of him. But yeah, look forward to that next week. Check it out if you haven't seen it. It's a bad movie. It's a great movie. I love it. It's terrible. I can't wait to make fun of it.
Cool.
Thank you for listening. Rob, you want to plug our shit, and then we'll get Bob's last word?
Yeah, theworstmovieevermade.com. You can see us on YouTube, on all the streaming services that you listen to your podcasts. You could email us. I mean, no one has, but we know you're there. And
yeah, we have 5,000 downloads. They have
after this goes live, we will hit 5,000 downloads. So I know you're there. Please talk shit to us. It makes me feel alive.
I do enjoy that, and I like dongs.
I think I have something for that. 1 second.
I like dongs.
Last words, Bob?
Rob won the game.
Yeah. All right. See you guys next week.
I like dongs.